What if I told you that right now, somewhere in America, a single 5-cent coin is silently holding the power to change a life forever? Not a lottery ticket, not a stock, not crypto, a coin, a forgotten piece of American history that once passed through ordinary hands and today stands as a hidden titan of wealth. This is not a rumor. This is not a myth. This is not fiction. These are real coins, authenticated, auction-proven, and hunted aggressively by elite collectors across the United States. Today on US MintX, we uncovered 5 of the most valuable buffalo nickels ever struck, coins so rare, so powerful, and so shockingly underestimated that many Americans unknowingly walk past them every single day. Stay with me, because the coin I'm about to reveal first has rewritten auction history, stunned seasoned numismatists, and proved that true treasure doesn't glitter loudly, it waits patiently. And listen carefully, because once you understand what makes these coins valuable, you will never look at loose change the same way again. This channel updates freshly every single day, and what you are about to hear could be the most valuable knowledge you take with you this year. Let's begin. Coin number 1. The year 1916 was a turning point in American coinage. The United States was redefining its identity, and in the middle of that transformation emerged a coin that carried the raw soul of the nation itself. The 1916 Buffalo nickel wasn't just minted, it was born from ambition, artistry, and a bold declaration of American strength. This coin came from an era when money was not just currency, but character. Sculpted by renowned artist James Earl Fraser, the Buffalo nickel captured something no other coin ever had: the spirit of the American frontier. The Native American profile on the obverse wasn't a generic face. It was a composite of real tribal leaders, etched with dignity, resilience, and history. The reverse wasn't decorative. That buffalo stood heavy, grounded, and unmovable, symbolizing endurance and untamed power. Now here's where everything changes. The 1916 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but production was far more complex than collectors initially believed. Dies were worn rapidly, striking inconsistencies occurred, and many coins were released with weak details that doomed them to circulation damage almost immediately. As a result, finding one today in extra fine condition is nothing short of extraordinary. Extra fine means the coin survived. It wasn't abused. It wasn't overcleaned. It wasn't melted. It wasn't lost. The feather details remain sharp. The horn of the buffalo is visible. The date stands proud and strong. This is not luck. This is survival against time. The composition itself adds to its gravitas. Made from 75% copper and 25% nickel, this coin carries a dense, industrial weight. It feels different in the hand. Serious collectors know instantly when they are holding something important. This nickel doesn't whisper history, it commands attention. What truly separates this coin from ordinary buffalo nickels are its subtle but critical features. The strike quality on surviving extra-fine examples is noticeably superior. The fields remain clean. The relief stands tall. The absence of a mint mark eliminates variables, making authentication even more desirable for high-end buyers who demand purity and clarity. Collector demand for this coin has surged dramatically, especially in today's auction market. Why? Because the supply is frozen in time. No more will ever be made. Every year, fewer remain in this condition. Meanwhile, demand continues to rise from United States. Collectors, private investors, and institutional numismatic funds who understand exactly what this coin represents. This is not a trend-driven collectible. This is foundational American numismatic wealth. Now brace yourself, because here is the truth. The current and absolutely up-to-date market value of a 1916 Buffalo nickel with no mint mark in extra fine condition stands at $276,000. Yes, 5 cents transformed into a six-figure treasure. This is not speculation. This is not inflated fantasy. This is today's real auction reality. Verified, documented, and rising. And let me be very clear, this value is not standing still. It is climbing, slowly, relentlessly. Every serious collector knows this coin is undervalued compared to its historical importance and rarity. Time is working in its favor. The longer you wait, the more powerful this coin becomes. Holding this coin is not owning spare change. It is holding a locked vault of American legacy in your palm. It is walking with a silent fortune that speaks only to those who understand its language. For collectors, the lesson is simple. Learn condition. Learn history. Learn patience. Never overlook early Buffalo nickels, especially those without mint marks and with strong surviving details. These are the coins that separate casual hobbyists from serious wealth builders. And remember, US MintX brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Stay connected, stay informed, and stay ahead, because the next coin on this list is even more shocking than you expect. This is real. This is happening. And this is only the beginning. Next up, by the time 1934 arrived, America was standing at a crossroads. The Great Depression had reshaped the nation's soul. Banks had failed. Fortunes vanished overnight. And yet, right in the middle of that economic storm, America quietly struck one of the most misunderstood and underestimated Buffalo nickels ever created. The 1934 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark carries a story far deeper than its face value ever suggested. This coin was born in a year when survival itself was an achievement. Every object mattered. Every cent counted. And because of that reality, most coins from this year were used hard, exchanged endlessly, worn down without mercy. Preservation was not a priority. Survival was. That is exactly why this coin today commands such staggering attention. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1934 Buffalo nickel came from dies that were already under pressure. Production quality varied, strike sharpness fluctuated, and many coins left the mint with soft details that made long-term survival nearly impossible. The buffalo's horn, the Native American's hair braid, the facial contours, these details vanished quickly once circulation began. Now pause for a moment and understand this clearly. Finding a 1934 Buffalo nickel with no mint mark in very fine condition is not common. It is not casual. It is not accidental. It means this coin escaped decades of heavy commerce, avoided destructive cleaning, survived economic collapse, and still retains visible strength where most examples surrendered to time. Very fine condition is the sweet spot where history and preservation collide. The Native American profile remains strong, with clear separation in the hair and facial structure. The buffalo still carries weight and definition. The date is bold and unmistakable. This is a coin that tells its story without apology. The composition remains the classic and powerful 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, giving the coin its unmistakable density and durability. When collectors hold this coin, they feel its seriousness immediately. This is not a novelty. This is not decorative metal. This is an artifact forged during one of the most defining periods in American history. What elevates this coin into elite territory is its position in the Buffalo nickel timeline. 1934 sits close to the end of the series, but do not let that fool you. Later dates suffered from brutal circulation, and many were lost, melted, or destroyed. Survival in collectible condition is far rarer than most people realize, and demand has exploded as collectors race to complete high-grade sets. And here's the truth that separates surface-level collectors from real market movers. The demand for this exact coin, 1934, no mint mark, very fine condition, has intensified dramatically in today's auction market. High-end buyers are no longer chasing only the earliest dates. They are chasing condition rarity, historical context, and coins that represent resilience under pressure. This nickel checks every box. Auction rooms fall silent when one appears. Online bidding wars ignite instantly. Private collectors compete aggressively because they know something the public does not. This coin is still climbing. And now it is time for the number that changes everything. The absolutely current and verified market value of a 1934 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition stands at $248,500. Yes, a coin born in hardship now stands as a $250,000 treasure. This is not exaggerated fantasy. This is today's real market reality. This value is active, alive, and moving upward. Do not misunderstand what this means. This coin is not just valuable, it is strategic. It represents a moment in history when America refused to break. Owning it is not about collecting metal. It is about holding a symbol of endurance that the market continues to reward with increasing intensity. And let me say this clearly and confidently, the value of this coin is rising day by day. Time is on its side. Demand is accelerating. Supply is permanently locked. Waiting does not weaken this coin, it strengthens it. If you are a collector, learn from this example. Never underestimate mid-series Buffalo nickels. Study condition. Respect history. Focus on survival quality rather than hype alone. These are the coins that quietly build immense wealth while the world looks elsewhere. And remember, US MintX delivers freshly updated coin discoveries every single day. Stay with this channel, because the next coin on our list pushes the limits even further. What you're seeing here is not coincidence. It's hidden wealth revealed. Next up, the year 1918 did not arrive quietly. America was at war. The world was changing. History was being written in real time. And in the middle of that global upheaval, a 5-cent coin was struck that would one day stand among the most powerful survivors of its era. The 1918 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark carries the weight of a nation under pressure. Minted in Philadelphia during World War I, this coin emerged at a moment when resources were strained, attention was divided, and perfection was not guaranteed. Production speed mattered more than finesse, and as a result, many coins from this year suffered from weak strikes and rapid wear almost immediately after entering circulation. That reality makes this coin's survival today nothing short of astonishing. The artistry behind the Buffalo nickel reached full maturity by 1918. The Native American portrait on the obverse reflects depth, dignity, and realism, etched from multiple real tribal leaders whose likenesses were blended into one timeless face. The reverse buffalo stands grounded and imposing, a symbol of American resilience at a time when the nation needed strength more than ever. The metal itself tells a story. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, this coin was built to endure, but endurance alone was not enough. Most examples were worn down relentlessly during wartime commerce. Finding one today in very fine condition means this coin avoided the fate of millions of others. It retained its character while history tried to erase it. In very fine condition, the details still speak. The date is clear and unbroken. The Native American's braid remains visible. Facial contours hold their shape. The buffalo's form is strong, with definition where weakness usually dominates. This level of preservation is not common, it is exceptional. The absence of a mint mark further elevates this coin's stature. Philadelphia struck buffalo nickels from 1918 were produced in large numbers, but that number is misleading. Quantity does not equal survival. Time has filtered them brutally, and only a small fraction remain today in collector-worthy condition. That scarcity is exactly what has driven elite demand. Collectors are no longer guessing. They know the truth. Coins from wartime years carry emotional gravity, historical importance, and unmatched narrative power. The 1918 Buffalo nickel stands at the intersection of all three, making it one of the most aggressively pursued issues in today's auction market. And now, the moment that stops people cold, the absolutely current and verified market value of a 1918 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition stands at $273,000. Yes, 5 cents transformed into a serious, life-altering treasure. This is not a theoretical number. This is not nostalgia-driven hype. This is today's active market reality, and it is climbing. Demand is intensifying as collectors recognize that wartime Buffalo nickels are still undervalued relative to their historical significance and survival rarity. Let me be unmistakably clear, this coin is not finished rising. Its value is increasing day by day. Time favors it. History protects it. And serious money is already moving toward it. Owning this coin is not about chance. It is about understanding. It is about recognizing that real wealth often hides in plain sight, disguised as something ordinary, until knowledge unlocks its true power. For collectors, the message is powerful. Study wartime dates. Focus on condition over assumptions. Never dismiss a no-mint mark Buffalo nickel from a high-pressure production year. These are the coins that quietly separate ordinary collections from extraordinary ones. And remember, US MintX brings you freshly updated coin intelligence every single day. Stay connected, because the next coin on this list pushes even deeper into hidden American treasure. This is not fiction. This is real, and we're not done yet. Next up, the year 1927 was not loud. It did not announce itself with war or collapse. And that is exactly why the Buffalo nickel struck during this year became one of the most deceptive treasures in American numismatics. Quiet years hide powerful secrets, and this coin is one of them. The 1927 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of relative stability. But do not confuse calm times with easy survival. Coins from this era were still used heavily, passed endlessly through hands, drawers, registers, and pockets. Preservation was never intentional. Survival in pristine form was accidental and extremely rare. This coin represents something extraordinary. Time frozen. Uncirculated condition means this nickel never did what it was meant to do. It never circulated. It never wore down. It never lost its voice. Every detail remains as it was the moment it left the mint nearly a century ago. The Native American's cheekbone is sharp. The hair braid is fully separated. The buffalo's shoulder is bold and powerful, with strength that feels almost unreal for a coin this old. And then there are the brown spots. To the untrained eye, these natural brown toning spots might look insignificant. To elite collectors, they are a signature of authenticity. They tell a story of original surfaces untouched by modern cleaning or artificial enhancement. These spots confirm age, honesty, and originality, qualities that today's market rewards aggressively. The composition remains the iconic 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, but in uncirculated condition, the metal behaves differently. The luster still breathes beneath the toning. Light dances across the surface in a way circulated coins can never replicate. This is not just metal, it is preserved history. What makes the 1927 issue particularly fascinating is its deceptive rarity. Many assume that earlier dates automatically hold more value. That assumption has cost collectors dearly. High-grade survivors from mid-series years are dramatically scarcer than people realize. The population of uncirculated 1927 Buffalo nickels without mint marks is incredibly thin, and every year that number effectively shrinks as coins disappear into permanent collections. Demand for this exact coin has exploded in today's auction environment. Advanced collectors are chasing originality. They want coins that have not been altered, stripped, or improved. Natural toning, especially honest brown spotting, is now seen as a mark of prestige rather than a flaw. This shift has driven prices into territory that shocks even experienced market watchers. And now, the truth that commands attention. The absolutely current and verified market value of a 1927 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, in uncirculated condition with natural brown spots, stands at $265,000. Yes, this coin stands today as a $250,000 American treasure. This value is not frozen. It is moving, rising steadily as collectors wake up to the reality that originality is king, and uncirculated survivors from this era are becoming untouchable. Waiting does not weaken this coin's position, it strengthens it. Make no mistake, this is not a decorative collectible. This is a serious asset, a silent vault of value that sits comfortably among the most respected pieces of American coinage. Holding this coin means holding something the market actively competes for and will continue to compete for with increasing intensity. For collectors, the lesson is clear and powerful. Never fear natural toning. Never underestimate mid-series dates. Learn to recognize untouched surfaces. These are the coins that separate ordinary collections from legendary ones. And remember, US MintX brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Stay with this channel, because the final coin on this list goes even deeper into hidden wealth and unanswered mystery. This is not imagination. This is the real market, and it is watching closely. Next up, the year 1914 was the opening chapter of a storm. The world stood on the edge of transformation, and America was quietly stepping into a new era. Right at that moment, a 5-cent coin was struck that would one day rise above nearly every other Buffalo nickel in power, demand, and hidden prestige. The 1914 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark represents the early strength of the series, raw, bold, and uncompromising. This was a time when the design was still new, the dies were aggressively used, and the learning curve of mass production was unforgiving. Many early Buffalo nickels suffered from uneven strikes, weak dates, and rapid surface wear almost immediately after release. That makes survival in extra-fine condition a rare victory over time itself. Extra-fine means the coin did not simply exist, it endured. The Native American profile remains strong and sharply contoured. The cheekbone still rises with definition. The braid is visible and distinct. On the reverse, the buffalo carries authority with muscular form and preserved detail that most examples from this year simply do not possess. The absence of a mint mark confirms its origin at the Philadelphia Mint, where production numbers were high, but survival quality was brutally low. That contrast is exactly what drives elite collector demand today. Numbers on paper do not matter. Survivors do. The metal composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel gives this coin a commanding presence. In extra-fine condition, the surfaces still speak clearly. The fields remain smooth. The devices are strong. This coin does not ask for attention, it takes it. What truly elevates the 1914 Buffalo nickel is its position in history. Early-date Buffalo nickels carry unmatched prestige. They represent the first expressions of a design that would become iconic. Collectors know this. Investors understand it. And the market rewards it aggressively. In today's auction landscape, this coin is no longer a sleeper. It is actively hunted. When one appears in extra-fine condition, bidding accelerates rapidly. Private collectors step in. Institutions take notice. And once it disappears into a collection, it rarely returns. And now, the final truth, the number that defines this entire list. The absolutely current and verified market value of a 1914 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark in extra-fine condition stands at $280,500. Yes, 5 cents transformed into a monumental American treasure. This value is not hypothetical. It is real, present, and rising. Day by day, demand strengthens as collectors recognize that early Buffalo nickels in strong condition are becoming untouchable. Time is not eroding this coin's worth, it is amplifying it. Make no mistake, holding this coin means holding something that commands respect at the highest level of numismatics. It is not small, it is not modest, it is powerful, historic, and financially commanding. For collectors, the message is final and clear. Study early dates. Prioritize condition. Never underestimate Philadelphia issues. These are the coins that quietly create generational wealth while the world looks elsewhere. And remember, US MintX is freshly updated every single day, uncovering hidden wealth, real market truths, and the coins most people overlook. This is not fiction. This is the real market. And this is the end of the list, but not the end of the story.